him down with the other dog right quick.
And then snow into Missouri. You think, hey,
Just whenever y'all are ready.
And do the same to us.
He's got to go to work.
That low is expected.
He's got to go to work.
Whenever y'all are ready.
This was the year of 19
and here at home, I believe we're going to be too warm to see snow on the ground. We can still see a rain mixture.
I was in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I had stayed up there 2 weeks and babysitted, and I got very agitated. And so I had my cousin to take me to the bus station. And I hadn't been there long until I seen this guy with a guitar in his hand. And I didn't know who he was. But the Lord had spoke to me and told me that he was to be my husband. And so a few minutes later I turned around and he was gone. And so I missed my bus. And he had later on went back to the barracks. And here I am still sitting waiting on a bus to get to North Carolina. I mean to South Carolina. And so when I did get to South Carolina on my bus, but he was getting off another bus onto my bus. And you tell some of it.
Well, what am I going to tell?
And so when he got on the bus,
when she first seen me, I was getting some popcorn out of a popcorn machine, and didn't notice until I dropped the popcorn had done dropped. There were no bags in it. So when I wasn't there, when I was missing, I had gone somewhere to find some bags. So I come back, and of course she was gone. Well, she missed her bus, but see, she didn't know that the next bus out went the same way. So she got somebody to take her to the next town to catch the bus that she missed. Okay, but the reason I had only my guitar is because they wouldn't take it in baggage, so I had to carry my guitar on the bus. So when I got off of that bus, of course, on the way on my bus, on the way down there, I got lit up. So when I got on the bus, I was high, and I seen her sitting back in the back of the bus, and she was sitting with this boy there.
I didn't know it.
No. Anyway, I kind of mouthed to her, was he with her? And she said, so I walked up and I told him, I said, I think you got my seat. He said, no, this is my seat. So I grabbed him by the collar and I said, this is.
Drinking, you gotta remember.
Yeah, I was drinking. I said, I believe you got my seat. So he looked at me, he said, yeah, I guess I have. So he moved. So I sat down. We played, we sang, we got to singing, got to playing music. We was up all night singing and playing music in the back of the bus.
And then on the way, the closer to Birmingham we got, well, he kept asking me, you need to go home with me and meet my family. And I said, and you want me to get killed? Because my daddy is very sensitive about who I bring around the house. And I said, and if I go home, then I'm going to get a whipping. And, so, anyway, when we got to Birmingham, I decided I'd go, because Mother and them didn't have no phone, but they were supposed to meet me at Jasper at the bus station. And I said, if I'm not there, they're going to want to know what's wrong with me. And, so I went on home and with him and met his family. And so then we took off down 678 highway in an old, what was that kind of car?
It was a Ford station wagon.
It was a station wagon, big old car. And so we got going down 78 highway, and I got tired, and I lay down in my head in his lap and kicked my feet up in the windows and rested till we got home. And so I said, but you're not taking me straight home. I'm going to my sister where she works, and then I'll go home with her. And so we went by where she worked, and she said, you better hope Daddy don't kill you when you get home. And I said, I know. I said, I'm going to be in trouble. I knew I was going to be in trouble. And so when we finally got her in the car and we went on home, Mama was, I think Mama was on one there. Daddy wasn't there, was he?
Yeah, he was.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, because your daddy and 2 or 3 of your brothers were sitting on the porch.
Okay.
I definitely remember that.
But we went in, and so he left. He left not. He didn't stay too long. And so he said, I'll be back tomorrow now. I'll be back in the morning real early. And so Mama said, well, I hope he don't come back. Because she said, I just don't think you need to get married right now. And I said, oh, yeah, he'll be back in the morning. You don't have to worry about that. He'll be back. And sure enough, the next morning he was back. And that's when he had to ask my daddy if he could marry me. And did you have to go to the woods?
Well, that was after we got married. I went to the woods with him.
Well, anyway, we had to get all the stuff together, so we went to the courthouse in Jasper, and he went and bought me a dress at David Lee's. You remember David Lee's in Jasper? Well, he went and bought me a dress in David Lee's, and I put on my spiked heels, and Mama went with us, and on the way to the courthouse, we was running late because it was just about to close.
Well, you were leaving out a lot of it.
And I got my heels hung in the sidewalk, and I tore the bottom of them off. We had a time getting to that courthouse.
Well, first of all, we were both underaged. At that time, the age was 21, not 18. So we both had to have our parents to sign. Well, her daddy was working in the woods. My daddy was in Birmingham. So we had to go there, and so we got my daddy to sign the papers, and then we went to Bessemer Courthouse, picked up. I think we picked up the papers there, didn't we?
I don't remember.
But anyway, we went over there. We got my daddy to sign the papers, and then we had to come down here and get her daddy to sign the papers.
But we had to go to Bessemer to buy a set of rings.
Right.
At Bush's Jewelry.
What did her daddy say when you asked him for her hand?
Oh, what did he say? He said he asked me if I thought I was big enough to take her. So I told him I may not be, but I'm big enough to try. So he said, in that case, he said, I'm not going to try to stop you.
But he also said if I made my bed, I'd have to lie in it.
Right, he told you that.
Yeah. So if you make your bed, you're going to have to lie in it. You're not going to leave him. And so after we got to the courthouse, the judge, but I already had closed his door, but anyway, he went ahead and married us. And I think he talked to us for a few minutes about getting married. And then he went ahead and married us. And then after we got married, Mac had to leave and go to Korea for 18 months. And 14 months. And so then I had to stay with Mama some, and then I had to go to Birmingham and stay some. And so we've been married. I want y'all to know we've been married 48 years, just about. Next April, the 2nd, we'll be married 48 years.
You want some coffee?
Yeah, please.
That's it.